Thank you for joining us to discuss serving pre-kindergarten 3's. In our time together, we want to provide a high-level overview of pre-K3, including benefits, considerations, funding and attendance, pre-kindergarten eligibility, pre-K3 registration and enrollment, and reviewing some questions and answers. In this presentation, participants will learn the benefits and considerations when implementing a pre-kindergarten 3-year-old program, how pre-kindergarten differs among 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, eligibility, registration, and enrollment for 3-year-olds. Let's get started with the benefits of serving 3-year-olds. Here's the most obvious benefits of implementing a pre-K3 program. This list is just a beginning. It is not all-inclusive because the benefits of serving 3-year-olds encompass all stakeholders involved from the LEA to the children and their families. They include increased school readiness, increased access to high-quality pre-kindergarten, continuity of care for children and families, increased funding, opportunities to partner with community child care providers, and program flexibility. Let's take a look at the few of the most important things to keep in mind in beginning to consider serving 3-year-olds. The following are important areas to consider in beginning to plan for serving 3-year-olds in your district. Each area is unique, so there will be many other important things to take into account in the decision-making process for establishing a pre-K3 program, but these points are a great starting place. Things to consider. What is the landscape for 3-year-olds? The landscape provides a snapshot of what pre-K for 3s and 4s look like in your area. It can help in the planning process to see how a pre-K3 program can differ from a pre-K4 program. Considering what space is available. Not every campus in the district needs to have a pre-K3 classroom. Using the landscape as a starting point, you can determine if the district has enough space on the campuses in the area where those campuses are located in relation to the children who will attend, and if partnerships could be utilized to assist in resolving any barriers on spacing. Other questions to consider when examining the spaces available include the geographical impact to parents and families. Will the students you are serving have to travel long distances to attend that program? Another consideration is what program options are available. For pre-K3 programs, there are a variety of options and models to consider: half-day, full-day, partnerships, funding sources, and more. Lastly, how will you engage other local early childhood stakeholders? Have you considered the impact on the child care community? Your local area might be well suited for establishing a pre-K partnership. An LEA might find that it does not have space to start a pre-K3 program on its campuses, or the children the district wants to target are already enrolled in a program where a partnership could be mutually beneficial. We will include a slide with contact information at the end of the presentation should you have additional questions regarding pre-K partnerships. These next few slides include a brief information on how to begin your own landscape analysis. While considering the analysis for serving 3-year-olds in your district, a great place to start is with the TPER page to look at your pre-kindergarten data. Here you will find reports that will be helpful in determining the need and viability of a pre-K3 program. The link you see takes you directly to the pre-kindergarten page to pull data reports from TPER. Simply hit the district and school link, then you select your district and run a report for the school year of your choosing. This is a sampling from Clint ISD of the same report you can run for your own LEA. The report runs a multi-page document where you can see information such as the sample data here and other reporting. Using this information, you can calculate the estimated number of children not being served in your district. Remember, these estimations are approximate. The enrollment numbers are true to what was reported for each LEA. However, the total number of eligible students not being served can vary from the numbers using this calculation. This method does not take into account children being served in other high-quality standalone programs such as Head Start, Texas Rising Star Child Care, or other programs. The top data chart shows pre-K enrollment as half-day or full-day and includes ADA eligibility. It can be found on page 1 in the upper right corner of the report. As you can see in this example, Clint ISD was not serving any 3-year-olds in the 2020-2021 school year. The second data chart shows a progression from the last few years, including the year for which we ran the report in 2020-2021. It can be found on page 3 in the middle of the page. From this table, we can use the number of first grade enrollment pre-K eligible numbers with the actual pre-K enrollment from the top chart from the same year to get an estimated number of students not being served. For this sample, Clint ISD had 636 students who would have been eligible for pre-K and had 330 pre-K eligible students in 2021. By subtracting these numbers, we get 306 estimated eligible pre-K students not being served. Again, this is just an estimated number. With the means to conduct a landscape analysis and considerations for space requirements in your area, it is time to consider the various program options for Pre-K3. Here's a side-by-side comparison of options for Pre-K3 and Pre-K4 programs. The first 4 options are available for both Pre-K3 and Pre-K4 program models. The Pre-K3 list includes several options that are not available for Pre-K4 programs. House Bill 3 requires that Pre-K4 programs serve eligible 4-year-olds for a full day. However, House Bill 3 does not apply to Pre-K3, so there are more opportunities to serve children in a variety of program models, which we will review shortly. Next, we will consider funding and attendance as they relate to serving 3-year-olds. How do LEAs get funding? For more information on funding and attendance, please visit the Student Attendance Accounting Handbook for more information, particularly sections 3.2 and 3.6.3. Remember, LEAs receive half-day ADA funds for enrolled eligible 3-year-old children. Compulsory attendance from the Student Attendance Accounting Handbook 3.5 and states pre-kindergarten and kindergarten students are subject to compulsory school attendance while they are enrolled in school. On enrollment in pre-K or kindergarten, a child must attend school. However, if a child has not reached mandatory compulsory attendance age, 6 years old as of September 1st of the current school year, the child's parents or guardian may withdraw that student from school and the child will not be in violation of compulsory attendance. Attendance for Pre-K3 and Pre-K4 is no different than any other grade level. While it is optional to enroll in pre-kindergarten, once a child is enrolled, the family must follow attendance rules. Now let's look at eligibility in Pre-Kindergarten 3. To be eligible for enrollment in a free pre-kindergarten class, a child must be at least 3 years of age on or before September 1st of the current school year, if a 3-year-old program is available, or 4 years of age on or before September 1st of the current school year, and must meet at least one of the eligibility requirements. Eligibility criteria for 3-year-olds is the same as the criteria for 4-year-olds. A child is eligible if the child meets the age requirements and is unable to speak or understand English, homeless, a child of an active member of the Armed Forces of the United States of America, a child of a member of the Armed Forces of the U.S. who was injured or killed while serving on active duty, or has been in the conservatorship of the Department of Family and Protective Services, educationally disadvantaged, meaning they qualify for free or reduced lunch through the National School Lunch Program, or is a child of a first responder who is eligible to receive the Star of Texas Award. An important thing to note is that students who are not potty trained or have frequent bathroom accidents may not be excluded from eligibility. Once a student is determined to be eligible for pre-K, that student remains eligible for the remainder of the current school year in the district in which he or she resides or is otherwise entitled to attend for foundation school program benefits. Another piece to pre-K3 programs are the registration and enrollment processes used. Keep in mind all of the information presented on creating a landscape analysis for serving pre-K3. Here are some questions you will want to think about in the planning process. What program model will be used? What enrollment process will be used? What registration procedure will be used? Pre-Kindergarten 3 programs can serve children in a variety of models. Remember, it is not a requirement to serve 3-year-olds, so there are more opportunities with this age group. Depending on the landscape in your district and the needs of your community, you might find that your needs fall within one of these 3 models. The pre-kindergarten model serves eligible 3-year-olds. The LEA receives half-day ADA funds, and children must meet eligibility. In the blended model, the LEA is serving eligible and ineligible 3-year-olds. The LEA receives half-day ADA funds for eligible children only, and the LEA uses tuition-supported or district funds for ineligible students. In the district tuition-supported model, this serves ineligible 3-year-olds. The LEA does not receive any ADA funds, and the LEA can determine criteria. While we recommend serving eligible students because they are children who most often have fewer options and the greatest need for pre-kindergarten, we understand that each community will have different needs. The landscape analysis will be important for determining those needs. When considering pre-kindergarten 3 programs and options, it is important to determine how many hours the program will serve students. Half-day programs serve the greatest number of children because one teacher can serve 2 classes per day. The district receives those half-day ADA funds from eligible children in each class. A full-day program has benefits as well, especially for the student and families, but it may require a partnership to provide full-day. Even with a full-day program, LEAs receive half-day ADA funds. LEAs would need to fund the other half or charge tuition to ineligible students. What enrollment process will be used? This is where Pre-K3 and Pre-K4 become very different. Again, House Bill 3 governs Pre-K4 and requires that LEAs serve all eligible 4-year-olds in a full-day program. Pre-K3 is not governed by House Bill 3, and LEAs are not required to serve all eligible 3-year-olds. Enrollment for Pre-K3 can be based on space availability. That is why districts usually use an enrollment process that includes either a first-come, first-served process and developing a waiting list, or they use a lottery to determine which children will attend. With either process, a district will need to plan for how they will fill spots if one becomes available, which means they should have a process in place to monitor their waiting list. Possible selection criteria could include having it based off need, siblings, children of employees, transfers in and out of the district. This list is just a start. Again, it is not all-inclusive. What other selection criteria would your LEA possibly consider? Additional notes for enrollment. A district must verify a student's eligibility for free pre-K in order to receive funding for that student. Obtain proof that the student is enrolling the 3 or 4-year-olds as of September 1st of the current school year. Any of the following documents is acceptable for proof of identity and age: birth certificate, statement of the child's date of birth issued by the Division of the Texas Department of State Health Services, responsible for vital statistics for school admission purposes, passport, school ID card, records or report card, military ID, hospital birth record, adoption records, church baptismal record, any other legal document that establishes identity and age. Appropriate pre-K staff members then determine that the student is eligible for pre-K based on one of the 7 eligibility criteria found in the Student Attendance Accounting Handbook in Section 7.2 on eligibility. LEAs can choose a registration process unique to their Pre-K3 program. Because it is not required by statute to serve all eligible 3-year-olds, waiting lists can be used by programs that are served as a first-come, first-serve, or those that use other selection criteria. Waiting lists are new for many LEAs, so please take careful consideration in planning your waiting list. Having an effective system to communicate your pre-K programs to families in the community can impact your enrollment and help with attendance. Each school district shall develop a system to notify the population in which the district with children who are eligible for enrollment in a pre-kindergarten class under this section of the availability of the class. The system must include public notices issued in English and Spanish. Use your social media outlets and local print and news to spread the word. Post on your LEA website. Signage can be displayed at campuses or with your local partnering childcare providers. You can do a neighborhood walk and also use it on social media platforms. If you want to learn more about pre-K partnerships, visit our updated Early Learning Partnerships webpage. Links to various partnership resources are included here. If you need additional support, please contact us through our ECE support portal. Contact information is at the end of this presentation. Next, we're going to review some of the frequently asked questions we received for Pre-Kindergarten 3. Can you serve 3 and 4-year-olds in the same classroom? Yes, both 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds may be served in the same pre-K class. Is a certified teacher required for pre-K 3? Yes, a certified teacher is required for pre-K 3 and pre-K 4. Do you have to serve eligible 3-year-olds before offering tuition-based program? No, there is no statute that requires districts to serve eligible 3-year-olds before ineligible children, but best practice is to serve eligible children first. Remember that ADA funds are not drawn down for ineligible children. Some districts also provide a blended model where both eligible and ineligible children attend the same program. What other funding sources can LEAs use to support and implement pre-K programs? Districts fund district-supported pre-K 3 programs with ADA funds from the Foundation School Program funding. Some districts use a portion of their early education allotment funds to provide pre-K, while other districts use local funds and resources to support their programs. Outside of ADA, each LEA can make decisions about funding on the local level. Can the early education allotment be used to fund ineligible children? Yes, only if serving all fours in full day program. Remember, to contact us more efficiently, please use the ECE support portal. This form allows stakeholders to select their desired topic area, see relevant and common information for those areas, and additional resources for more assistance. There's a dedicated pre-K 3 section as well. Plus, if for some reason that information does not answer your specific question, stakeholders can send their question directly through the ECE support portal to the specialist that will be better able to assist them. This support portal will help the ECE team in providing more targeted support, consistent and timely responses, as well as make impactful decisions based on the questions we are receiving from the field. The last piece this portal has is contact information to the other divisions that cross over in early childhood, such as special education, emergent bilingual support division, and ECDS, just to name a few. In closing, Prekindergarten 3 programs offer flexibility to serve our youngest learners and their families. Thank you for joining us.